I'm just going to give you a few personal stories about, I was sitting at a lunch with some of our leaders in Japan, and they asked me who were my mentors. And I said, look, I've been very lucky in my life that I've had more than one. But they all had one thing in common. And the thing that they had in common is that they had a major impact on trying to help people. So one of my mentors was my great uncle, who started off in Glasgow, Scotland, and he sold clocks door to door. He was a door-to-door clock salesman. And then he got somebody had a mail order catalog and said, why don't you put your clocks in the mail order? And he said, fine. And then he took over the mail order company, and he turned it into the #1 mail order company in the UK. And then people weren't shipping the products fast enough, so he started a private delivery service and turned that into the #1 private delivery service. And then people wanted credit, so he started a consumer credit company and turned that into the #1 consumer credit company. And I was always raised to be #1 because you're going to work just as hard, but you're going to have a lot more fun. So that's the attitude that we go in as. How do we make it #1? But what he really did is he built lots of different businesses, but he also gave hundreds of people their start in business. And he lent them money to start companies. I mean, many, many companies that you've heard of, he gave them their first investment. And that was what really gave him joy, was to give people the opportunity to create their own life for themselves. And then I had my mother. My mother, for the last 46 years, has been in public interest law. And she was appointed by the President of the United States about 8 years ago to oversee sort of the Legal Services Corporation of America, which is public service interest law for the entire country. And her commitment has been to help the poorest families in this country have equal access to the justice system. That's what she's dedicated her entire life. She did that on a nonprofit basis, not for money, never made any money doing it, but has helped millions of families live a better life. And then I had another mentor of mine who was president of the World Bank for 10 years. And what he did at the World Bank, basically, is help poor countries give health, income, and income to their populations, and also do it in a sustainable way. So this is my background. It was kind of in my background when I saw Shaklee. And when I saw Shaklee, not only did I see it as investment, but I saw it as a vehicle to make an impact on a global basis. A major platform to help people, because we do exactly what the World Bank did, and we do exactly what my great uncle did, and we do exactly what my mother did, which is that we give people an opportunity to create a life for themselves, but we're about health, we're about income, and we also want to do it in a way which takes care of our planet and our world. And right now there's 1.2 million people in Shaklee. And I saw Shaklee as a way where we could try to touch the lives of 10 million people. When we get to 10 million people, which is not that many more than what we have, we will become the largest force for positive social change in the world. And what does that mean? That means that when you join us, by everybody here making their ripple of change in your own world, you're actually contributing to a movement, and you're contributing to making an impact on a scale that most of us as individuals could never do. Because the world has shifted from a power structure. It's no longer this superhuman hero, that this heroic figure, one person's going to do everything. The world is going to be changed by all of us doing a little bit, if enough of us gather together and do that together. And that empowers you to be part of a movement, of something of greater significance, perhaps, than you might even imagine. And along the way, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to share better health with your friends and family. But other people can offer you health. We think that our health products are the best natural health products in the world, but other people can offer you health, and other people can offer your income. We think it's very rare to have generational income, but we're not the only ones that provide income in the world. But I do believe that we are the only ones that can offer everyone here to be part of this movement, to be the largest force for positive social change. And when we all look back on our lives, backwards, the question is, what kind of impact are we going to have? You know, I mean, yes, we should have the toys. Yes, should we have the fun? Yes, we want to be vital. Yes, we want to be healthy. But I believe most people, if you give them the opportunity to take care of themselves and help other people, that is something which is a huge motivating factor. And I think that gives significance. And I think that's why people stay in Shaklee for as long as they do. Because I do feel that they are being part of a broader issue of helping other people. You will be proud to be associated with this company. And this company is only going to get cooler and better over time. We have just begun to start an outreach campaign to sort of make people aware of what we are. But I like to say that when I discovered Shaklee, it was the coolest but most unhip company. And now it's still the coolest, but we're getting a little more hip, okay? And every day we're getting cooler. And part of that is you all. Part of that is you all. And this next generation of people that are coming in and sharing with their friends. But the idea, and ultimately Shaklee is an idea. It's an idea of a healthier life and a better life, with the science, the evidence, the history, longevity to back it up. And that idea is powerful. And that idea, I think, is something that people want to grab onto if they understand it. So scratch beneath the surface, explore. The more you learn about Shaklee, the more you're going to fall in love. And the thing is that it won't be unrequited love. We will love you back, and we will support you. And we are here to work for you. You know, when we signed the papers at 4 in the morning in New York City to buy the company. The people who used to own it was a Japanese pharmaceutical company, which are very good to buy things from because they just, again, invested hundreds of millions of dollars in research and development, but they really didn't understand the nature of our business and how to partner with entrepreneurs. And so it's always helpful to have an owner-entrepreneur running the company, because you're entrepreneurs and you want a partner on the other side that's also an entrepreneur, so that you can understand that this is a life. It's not a job. It's a life that we're going to be partnering together. So anyway, 3 o'clock in the morning, we signed the deal, and I couldn't fly out here quick enough to talk to the employees, so I did a satellite right here. We did a satellite broadcast. We brought all of our employees in the room here, and I said to them, look, I had never met them before. And I said, I'm very excited, and I gave them all the reasons why I think Shaklee is a fantastic growth opportunity for people. I said, ask yourself this question every single day when you come to work. What have I done to help a distributor be more successful today? And if you can't answer that question, go home and stay home. And the interesting thing is that all the employees cheered when they heard that, because they actually understood that that's what we're here to serve and about. And I think that some of the prior management over the years forgot that we're here to serve you and to partner with you. And we are good partners. You have a fantastic team of really smart, really bright people. My philosophy in hiring is to hire the best in the world. Sometimes it's not easy to decide exactly who the best is, but once we identify who them is, then the rest is easy. You just tell them about what we're going to do together, how they can be an important part of the team, and we have a pretty high batting average of getting the best to come work for you, to support you in your business. So anyway, it's going to be an exciting adventure. The Lord works in mysterious ways, okay? There is at first you can say, your experiences and you brought to this company and it doesn't exist, that is something which is a terrible outcome. And I feel for you, because I'm sure there's shock and surprise and distress, and you get passionate about something. You won't be good at what you do if you don't get passionate about it. But there is a silver lining sometimes. And I do believe that things happen for a reason, and the timing of when you're here and when we met and whatever, it's more than a coincidence. I think there's a reason why we're here together. And we can offer you something. And I think what we can offer you is it's a bigger platform and a bigger stage to make an impact. And I think that can be good. And again, I don't want to minimize what's happened, but I'm excited about the future. And we want to create a future for yourselves. And we want to be here for you. And we are really good partners. And again, our whole building is buzzing by the fact that you're here. I've been getting reports all morning. They really are good. They're terrific. Did you hear what Bo and Ty were saying to people? And then look at them, and they're all great. And they said, you will be impressed. And I look at people. I can tell by looking at people's eyes, pretty much. I probably personally have shook the hands of 100,000 people in the last 12 months in Shaklee as I go around the country. You can look. You folks are smart, or to borrow from a phrase that one of my Japanese distributors tell me, smart, powerful, and good-looking. You have an energy to you, and you have a leadership, and you have the capacity. And so the question is, where are you going to channel your energies? And is it a worthwhile cause? And can you have confidence when you bring people to something that will be there? And just look, again, words are words, and actions are actions. Look at our 50-year track record. Look at what we've done in the last 6 years. Look at what we're trying to do in the future. And the only thing I can promise you is that we will never stop getting better. That is the commitment to you. Every day, a little bit better. And again, the compound effect of that over time gets significant. And for you, if you have a network and you can create it and you can just nurture it a little bit every day, just nurture it every day, over time, network theory, and they're now studying it in schools because of the Facebook, and they got all these PhD scientists that are going there, and you talk to them and they're like out of Mars. They talk about the virality coefficient, which just basically means how excited and how much people share, okay? But they got to come up with a formula on a piece of paper, okay? And I talk with pictures. I'll show you pictures of people, because that's really what our business is. But the math is the same. They've studied it. If you feed a network and nurture it a little bit every day, it will expand. It will expand. And if you think of how it will expand over time, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, think in 10 years. Think in 10 years. Think where you want to be 10 years from now. What kind of size business? What kind of income do you want to create? Think in those terms. Don't think for the next year. I don't care how much you get paid in 1 year. If you work for somewhere for 1 year and that company disappears, you were just a high-paid employee for that year. You have not built a lasting franchise. And the lasting franchise of the idea of this is that you get to expand indefinitely. That's what a healthy network does. Look at Facebook. It started off, it was like 10 million people. Then it went 10 million, 50, 80, 125, 200. There's like 25 million people joining a week. When the network effect goes, it's hard to stop. Just feed it. Just keep feeding it and compound it, and then it'll tip. And then you can get the benefit of that, like some of our Shaklee family members, for your lifetime and for the lifetime of your family members. One final story to do it. We had one of our new master coordinators. Her name is Kathy Alleman. And she sat next to me at a dinner, and we were celebrating her. And I started to talk to her. We were just introducing this idea of getting infinite rewards. And I said, Kathy, you realize that now with this infinity, you can get rewarded for forever to the infinity across all space and time. And she's like, wow, you know. Well, I'm concerned that my grandchildren will be getting, or great-grandchildren will be getting a check as a result of my business, and they won't remember who I am. So I said, Kathy, first of all, why don't you change your name? You know, a lot of distributors make up their own names, Health and Wellness Associates, or, you know, whatever their name is. So change your name to your name, Kathy Alleman Distributors or something, and then we'll put a picture of you on the check that we'll send your great-grandchildren so that they remember you for a while. So you got to change your thinking a little bit, because it doesn't exist anywhere else where you have these multiple generations of family. And that's kind of our attitude. We're going to be here. We're going to service you. We're going to partner with you. And we're going to take what is a fantastic company and make it hugely successful together. So with that, I'd like to welcome you to the Shaklee family. It's going to be a heck of a ride and a heck of a journey. And I am happy to stay and answer any questions that you might have. So anyway, thank you very much for letting me talk with you today. Well done.